What's up, Bulldogs? All right, today I thought I would talk about one of the struggles that I've been facing lately, and perhaps you're facing too, which is being is when you waste the entire day or a lot of the day just kind of not really doing anything really important, but you're still doing stuff, right? Or maybe you just are lazy. You end up, watching YouTube videos or doing something else other than your work or what you're trying to do. And I want to talk about kind of the cure for that, because that's something that I'm struggling with. Like, even today was a great example. Today did not go according to plan because there was no plan. Like, there should have been a plan. I had a vague idea in my head of what I was going to do. I was going to wake up at 5:40 in the morning. I was going to work for a 4-hour block and figure some stuff out, and I had like kind of an idea of all the things that I wanted to do and go for my run and and fast during the day. And you know what actually happened was a cascading series of events that I feel like if you get off on the wrong foot, you're just more likely to keep on going down the wrong path. And so I don't want to just give you, the problems. I want to give you a solution to it, because I know what the solution is. Having been a coach for a long time and having coached myself through this and many other people, yet why don't I follow my own advice? Sometimes that is the problem. And that's kind of the place that I've been lately. So, as I've shared with you guys on this channel. So anyway, what really happened to me this morning was I didn't get up at 5:40. Okay, I'll be honest there. And because I didn't get up at 5:40, I was already to a late start. So I didn't really plan out my day because I was already behind. And so I basically ended up with the morning answering a bunch of emails, answering a bunch of messages, and never really knowing what to do. And then I've got this kind of mess in my head where I don't even want to work on anything. In fact, recording this video, I was like, okay, well, maybe I should just record a video so I can have one scheduled for another day. Yeah, that's something that I can do. And so I kind of picked out something I could do as opposed to planning out exactly what I wanted to do. And there's a huge difference in terms of efficiency, right? So I basically got all thrown off. I even didn't end up fasting because after feeling so bad about messing up my day, I felt like I needed to eat something because I was hungry. So, it's like when you're on track and you're feeling good, you have more discipline. You can do the things that you're supposed to do. So what is the solution to this, right? The solution to this is really, really simple, and it's something that I'm going to implement tomorrow, okay? In fact, screw that. I'm not going to implement it tomorrow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to implement it right now. After this video, before I sit down to do any more work, I'm going to go and I've done videos on this before, but I'm going to go and I'm going to look at what I have to do and how much time I have, and I'm going to figure out what things I'm definitely going to get done today so that they can be done. And the thing about it is, I think sometimes there's some resistance. I have some resistance to doing this because there's a whole bunch of stuff that needs to get done. And so sometimes I feel like, well, if I just break off a bit and I just do these, let's say 4 things out of these 50 things that need to be done, then I'm kind of neglecting these other things. And so somehow in my mind, I'm like, well, if I don't commit to doing just these 4 things, then maybe I could do all 50. Or I kind of have this thought in my head, which it doesn't make any sense, right? It's not logical. But at the same time, you got to realize that if you do 4 things a day and you do that for 10 days, you'll have done 40 things, right? And probably 10 of the things of the 50 didn't even really matter anyway, or they would get eliminated by doing those 40 things. So it's so much better to just make that solid progress. And then I've talked about this before when I've done my videos on Kanban flow and my productivity system, which, again, should I be using? Yes. Am I using? No. Okay. But the idea is that you can always replan. You can always retrue the board, is what I call it, where you're making it so that whatever time you have, you can fit that in, whatever's left. And then also, not only that, but you can start to realize that the problems that you have are priority problems. They're not time and work problems. Because the problem that I'm facing right now, and maybe you're facing, but is really one of a lack of discipline, right? Like, I'm not applying the discipline. I've got the discipline. I have the ability. I know I've proved it in the past that I have this discipline, but I'm not applying it. Why? Well, because I don't have organization, because I don't have a schedule, because I don't have momentum. right? And so once I put in the organization, put in the schedule, and trust the process, then I can re-implement the discipline aspect of it, because discipline always comes from rules. You have to have rules in order to have discipline, right? And so if you don't have rules, you're not, like, no one has discipline without structure, because discipline is adhering to what? You have to have a thing to what you're being disciplined to, right? And so it's so much easier once you create the structure. So you have to create the structure, but then once you have that, then you know that you're working to the full capacity that you can, and so then it becomes a matter of priority, and that's an easier problem to solve, because if you're not getting everything that you want to get done, or you're not making the progress you want, then you have to look at, are you working on the right things, right? So first you have to develop the work ethic, which again, I'm starting over from scratch here, because I used to have amazing work ethic. I was doing amazing things, and it's kind of fallen apart, right? So let's be honest here. Instead of denying it and pretending like, I'm perfect, the truth is, yeah, I fell off the wagon, whatever you want to call it, but I'm working to redevelop that and get that back on. And so maybe as I'm doing these things and I'm sharing them with you and I'm working on building the new business, you will benefit from that as you see me going through the struggle, and I'm sharing it with you every day. So there you go. My tip for today is plan. Just whatever you're going to do, plan it out first. In fact, I'm right now going to do that with the rest of my day, and you should as well if you're watching this video, obviously.